It's a Bernie segment tonight, how the media is covering the Hillary Clinton email controversy. We have looked at it. And on television, the only problem seems to be far-left MSNBC is giving her a pass.
This whole thing is unbelievable. They're going after Hillary Clinton because they know she's exciting the public, and we've just got to get past this because you could talk all day.
So you don't see a lot of that on CNN, some, but not a lot. And, of course, that would not fly on the Fox News channel. Joining us from Miami, the purveyor, BernardGoldberg.com, Mr. Goldberg. So big picture, New York Times breaks the email story. Washington Post breaks the donations to the Clinton Foundation. Press seems to be doing its job in regard to Hillary Clinton, or am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're absolutely right. The press is doing its job now. It's because the stories are legitimate, no question about that, and because the press understandably likes a story that involves scandal, perfectly okay. But another reason it's getting as much play and the press is doing its job is, especially the networks where it's getting a lot of coverage, is because, as you say, it was the New York Times and the Washington Post that broke the story and put it on page one. That made the stories even more legitimate. And it gave the networks, which often take their cues from those papers, permission to run with the story. So you're right. The press is doing its job. They are not currently slobbering over Hillary. But you watch. As soon as she has a real, live, breathing Republican opponent, they will cover the GOP National Convention like an anti-abortion rally, and they're going to cover Hillary's run for the White House like a coronation. They won't go as easy on her as they did on candidate Obama. Race trumps gender, and he was new, and she's been around since the dawn of time. But I'm betting they're going to go easier on her than they will on whoever.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Hard right,
yeah,
whoever the Republican candidate is.
Does this story have legs, the email thing? Because everybody's filing FOIAs, freedom of information, and some are firing lawsuits. And then the Republican Party senses blood in the water, so they're going to try to keep it alive. But I think the folks are going to get bored with it unless there's more stuff to come.
I think it's going to be old at some point. And I also think, I know this is a big Washington story, but I don't think it's the kind of thing that's going to resonate between Manhattan and Malibu. So I think it's going to go away. And by the time the campaign picks up in earnest, it's going to be old news. And that's what she's going to say. It's old news.
Right. Now, sexism. There was a soundbite yesterday from a Turkish reporter, actually the first question in the 10 that she took in a press conference, which is protocol, by the way. It wasn't that she was just like the reporter. It was protocol. And he said, well, what if you were a man? And then she kind of looked down, and she knew it was coming, by the way. Well, other people answer that. You know what I'm saying? Look. Do we have to go through this again, this sexism business? I mean, do we have to? And what's the answer?
No, we don't have to. We don't have to, but we will. This is going to be the I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar campaign.
So Helen Reddy is going to be on the second part of the ticket?
She might be. I mean, she might. That may be the song that they played for the campaign song. But it's going to have shades of the Obama candidacy. When Barack Obama ran, and even when he won, if you disagreed with his policy, you ran the risk of being called a racist. You don't like Obamacare? That's because you don't care about black people. You think we're spending too much money? Oh, that's because you don't care about poor people, and many of them are black. You're a racist. And I'm telling you, when they start questioning her, the Republicans start throwing out Benghazi, you're going to hear the word sexism. That's what they're going to yell. Anytime there's a policy disagreement, they're going to be yelling sexism. Well, it won't. By the way, it won't come from Hillary. She's going to be above the fray.
She'll rise above.
It's going to
surrogates.
Yeah, it's going to come from Carville and Begala and Lanny Davis and everybody at MSNBC and the editorial page of the New York Times. They will be carrying the sexism argument to the American people. I don't know if it's going to work.
Well, we're going to keep it short. I think we're going to keep it short on how many sexism charges there. You know, I think we'll do that.
The over-under is going to be 25,000 in the first week. We'll start getting that chart together as soon as she announces. We'll have the sexism chart. Bernie Goldberg, everybody. Plenty more as the factor moves along.